You know? And they don't accept you, and they're not going to accept you because you're not the same people. Just because you may be the same color, you may look similar, doesn't mean that you're the same people. You know, just like the East Indians. You have some East Indians that are dark skinned. That doesn't mean that they're black. You know, so-called black.
Or Jake.
You know, or Jake.
And can I add to that? I'm going to add to that, man. You Negroes, man, you so-called African Americans, you think you some damn Africans. Them Africans, like the brother said, the elder said, they snatched your ass up. You want to know why? Because they knew that you wasn't their people. Because they knew that a lot of them knew the history that when you read in the scriptures about Exodus, when we was going into the promised land, we were having, Elder Tahar put it out earlier, we were having wars with them. Those are the Philistines, man. Those are the Jebusites and the Girgashites, man. Those are the same people that we was having wars with. The Philistines were the primary arch enemies of Israel, man. We was always going at it with them Philistines.
Which are Mizraim, which are Egyptians, all right?
Yep. So-called, well, they had you in captivity. The Most High had to destroy Mizraim or the Philistines to get us out of there. And then when we was going into the land of Canaan, that was them so-called African nations, man, that we was warring with. So when you shoot a little bit into the future in the so-called land of Africa during that time period, them Hamites and them Africans, they knew that these people, that's them Israelites. Because they knew that they were Israelites. That's why they grabbed them up with the Arabs. They say that let's get the Israelites, man, and give them, sell them to these white people.
Go ahead.
This is called Slavery in the Arab World, right, by Murray Gordon. The title of the chapter that I'm going to read from is called Slavery Concealed in the Midst of Time. Page 2. Innocent victims of a system they could not begin to comprehend these misfortunes were either seized in early dawn attacks on villages by raiding parties or sold by avaricious African middlemen and then marched in fetters to the coast where they were bartered for the white man's artifacts. The ships that were waiting offshore for the human cargo had brought an assortment of goods from New England and the West Indies that included cloth, glass, beads, knives, brassware, rum, firearms. African human capital, which those were Israelites, was exchanged for Western consumer goods. Actually, these were the items in great demand by local chiefs and against which captured blacks were exchanged. The captured blacks were Israelites. The European
And the Hamites knew it, man.
That's right.
Because it was Israel that set up colonies mainly in the western part of Africa, but there were other parts of Africa, all right, the so-called Africa, or Kemet, you like to call it, because they fled from the Roman persecution during the time of 66 to 74 A.D., during the periods of Vespasian, Caesar and Titus's son, all right, when they came against them. Why did you think Titus' younger brother, Domitian, built the arch over there, which is still up there, and they got black people? They got black people on the walls, and then they got other people carrying their stuff out of the temple. That was the abomination that maketh desolate, man. Why did they commission a coin, called Judicopter, which is a Latin, classic Roman Latin way of saying Judah is conquered or captured? All right? Because there was a group called the Israelites, man. Go ahead. Keep reading, Doc.
Babylon and Timbuktu, page 84. It says, just to back up what Elder Tahar just said, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Plain, to the point.
To the point.
Joel 3:3.
Joel chapter 3 verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? I will render me a recompense. And will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own heads. Because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border.
Yeah, the Grecians, which are white people. Okay? So, you know, hey, we have the information. You guys got a lot of bullshit. Okay? Straight up. Like you talk about the what's this major council with Constantine the Great, the Nicene Council, and many other councils and so forth. Well, and then you talk about the rulers of the Byzantine Empire as being white people, man. Well, I have a book here, and I used this book and illustrated or showed you this pictures from this book or pages from this book. This book is called Icons and Saints of the Eastern Orthodox Church, right? Which is up there in Europe, right? Now, on the first page is supposed to be Mary and the child, and you can see that she's black, but they kind of lighten her up a little bit. But I'm gonna open this book I'm gonna open it up. Speak.
Yeah. So and see, a lot of you guys, the reason why you spit out that acid, that demonic acid that you do, is because you go and you read these books, and because they say that these people were white, you automatically assume that they were white. You know, because your research skills are not that good. You know, when you really research the history of the people in Europe, there was a certain particular time in history where the so-called black men, Judites, Benjamites, and so-called Haitians were ruling all throughout Europe. And prior to them ruling there, before the white men took over, you had Japhites, which were also dark-skinned people, which was one of Noah's 3 sons. You know, you have some.
Yeah, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, "Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?" That's you niggas, man, getting into all these other different studies, these African studies, all these African gods. It says, "But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit." Because you are the people of the Lord. Technically, you are Israelites, man. Okay, but you going into that which doesn't profit, man. All that other knowledge.
Yeah, that debating, that don't profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, use Harlem as an example. You're doing all that debating, yet gentrification is kicking your black ass. So how's it profit?
Yeah.
It says, "Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountains of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water."
Yeah, this is on page, the page is not numbered. Bear with me for 1 minute. All right, this will be page 92. This is on the other page. It tells you where it's from. It's and it says Moscow. That's in Russia. Moscow school. The what is that? The read that, please.
It says the Annunciation.
I'm sorry, the Annunciation. I'm sorry, the Annunciation. I couldn't read it. It looks funny. The Annunciation, circa 1420. Like I said, this is Moscow. This is a gallery in art gallery in Moscow. All right. Yeah, get some white people out of that. Okay, speak.
Those are jigs. Those are blacks. And you guys, you can't look at that and see that straight up depicts so-called black people. And like we always say, if you don't believe it, you can go up to the Bronx, to the Cloisters Museum. Okay? You wait a minute. You guys talk about the black conscious community. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Novgorod School, the Conception of Saint Anne. All right. Get a crack at that. Get a crack out of that. Get a white boy out of that. A white woman out of that. Look at that. Can that be mistaken for a white man? Is that a white man with a tan?
Hell no.
Look at that, man. That kind of